The day you decide to begin is the day you set the course for greatness. Your dreams, no matter how audacious, are waiting for you to take that first step. So why wait? The world is not waiting, but your destiny is. It does not matter how many obstacles stand in your way. It does not matter how many times you fall. The question is, are you willing to rise again? Because greatness doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from learning, adapting, and forging ahead no matter the cost. Life is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It is about creating those moments through the decisions you make. Each decision you take shapes your future. You are the architect of your destiny, and it is time you start building, brick by brick, with the unwavering belief that the foundation of success lies in the will to never give up. When challenges come, and they will understand this, they are not roadblocks but stepping stones. And in the face of these trials, the ones who persevere are the ones who ultimately see their dreams come true. The battle is not against others. It is against yourself. Can you push through your doubts? Can you silence the critics, including the one in your own head? The truth is, we all face moments when we feel like giving up. But in those moments, you must remember, the greatest victories come after the hardest fights. So, are you ready to start today? Because success doesn't wait. And neither should you. The first and most crucial step toward achieving anything meaningful in life is making a decision. A decision to move forward, a decision to rise above your circumstances, and a decision to pursue greatness no matter the odds. This decision is not just a fleeting thought, but a profound commitment, one that shapes your future and sets the stage for everything to come. It is in the moments when you decide to take that first step, even if it is the hardest one you've ever taken, that your journey towards success begins. The significance of a decisive mind. A decision is the seed from which all actions grow. Without it, there is no direction, no purpose, and no progress. The most powerful people in history did not become successful by simply wishing for greatness or hoping for opportunities to come to them. No, they became successful because they made a decision. They decided that no matter the hurdles or the fears, they would proceed. To understand the weight of a decision, you must recognize that a decision is a commitment. When you decide something, you give yourself no choice but to move forward. You do not look back. You do not second-guess your commitment. You move toward your goal with unwavering determination. Once you make a decision, the universe aligns itself to make that decision a reality. This is not magic. It is the power of a focused mind. People who struggle in life often do so because they fail to make decisions with conviction. They allow themselves to remain in a state of indecision, hoping that the answers will simply come to them or that circumstances will somehow change in their favor. But success doesn't work that way. It doesn't wait for the right time, and it doesn't come to those who sit idly by. Success comes to those who act. It comes to those who make decisions and take immediate, deliberate actions to bring those decisions to life. Indecision is the enemy of success. It's a silent killer of dreams and ambitions. It's the hesitation between opportunity and inaction, the moment where fear paralyzes you into doing nothing. How many people have you known who have great ideas, big dreams, and the potential to change the world, but never move past the what-ifs? How many times have you yourself stood at the crossroads of opportunity and hesitation, wondering whether or not to take the leap? But let's be clear. Indecision isn't a neutral state. It's a decision in itself. When you choose to do nothing, you are choosing to remain exactly where you are, and unfortunately, where you are right now may not be the place where you want to stay forever. The longer you wait to make a decision, the further you drift from your potential. Every moment spent in indecision is a moment wasted, a moment that could have been spent building the life you truly desire. There is an undeniable power in making a firm decision. When you make a decision with conviction, it ignites a chain reaction within you. It forces you to focus on the necessary actions. It makes you commit to the process, and it leads you to a place where your dreams become not just possible, but inevitable. The act of deciding is an act of courage, because it takes courage to take the first step, to commit to something before you know exactly how it will unfold. You do not need to have all the answers right now. What you need is the willingness to step forward, even in uncertainty. If you wait until everything is perfect, you will wait forever. Once you make the decision, the next step is to commit to action. Success does not come from thinking about your dreams, it comes from acting on them. In fact, action is the only way to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It's easy to dream. It's easy to think about what you want. But what sets successful people apart is that they take massive action. They make mistakes, they face setbacks, but they never stop moving forward. Taking action doesn't require everything to be perfect. It doesn't require that you know exactly how everything will unfold. What it requires is that you start. You make the decision, and then you get moving. Momentum builds over time, and as you take more steps toward your goal, you will gain more clarity, more knowledge, and more power. The fear that once held you back will begin to fade, replaced by the confidence that comes with progress. Each small action you take, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is another brick in the foundation of your success. And before long, you'll find yourself closer to your dream than you ever thought possible. The reluctance to act, the silent killer of dreams. It's true that many people never take action. They let their dreams remain in the realm of fantasy, always planning, always waiting for the perfect moment to act. But the truth is, the perfect moment never arrives. There is no such thing as a perfect time to start. You don't need to wait for the stars to align or for everything to fall into place. What you need is a sense of urgency. What you need is the understanding that every day spent without action is a day lost. The reluctance to act often comes from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But the reality is that failure is part of the journey. Failure does not define you, it refines you. It teaches you lessons you would never learn otherwise. And the more you fail, the closer you get to success. Success isn't a straight path. It's a series of winding roads, dead ends, and detours. But each detour brings you closer to the person you are meant to become. The courage to keep going is what ultimately determines whether you will succeed or not. There will be times when the road gets tough, when it feels like nothing is working, when you want to quit. But it is in these moments that your decision to move forward is tested. The path to success is never easy, but it is always worth it. Every successful person has faced moments of doubt, moments when they wanted to give up. But they didn't. They pushed through because they had made a decision. They had committed to their dreams, and they knew that there was no turning back. Success is not for the faint of heart, it is for those who dare to decide, who dare to act, and who dare to persist even when the road ahead seems impossible. So if you are at a crossroads right now, if you are unsure about what comes next, take a moment to make a decision. Decide to move forward. Decide to pursue your dreams. Decide to take action. And once you make that decision, commit to it with everything you have. The first step is the hardest, but once you take it, the next one will be easier, and soon you will find yourself on the path to the life you've always wanted. Once you've made the decision to pursue your dreams and have committed to taking action, there is one critical element that will sustain you through every challenge: belief. The power of belief in yourself, in your potential, and in the possibility of success is what will keep you going when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Without belief, all the decisions, plans, and actions in the world won't matter. It is belief that turns a mere idea into reality, that transforms a goal into an achievement. Belief is not just a passing thought. It is an unwavering conviction that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to. It is the fire that fuels your actions, even in the face of adversity. When you believe in your purpose, no obstacle seems insurmountable. It doesn't matter if others doubt you, if the world tells you that your dreams are unrealistic or impossible. The only thing that matters is what you believe. The foundation of any success story begins with a belief that success is possible. Without belief, you will constantly question your every move, second-guess your decisions, and ultimately lose the drive to push forward. Belief is the internal force that keeps you on track, even when the external world seems to be telling you otherwise. It is easy to be swayed by the opinions and doubts of others, but the key to success is to trust in yourself. To trust that you have the strength, the intelligence, and the resilience to overcome any challenge. Belief is a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you truly believe in yourself, you radiate confidence, and others will begin to believe in you too. People are drawn to those who have faith in their own abilities, and those who demonstrate confidence are more likely to be given opportunities. This belief is contagious. It spreads to others, inspiring them to trust in you and even support your journey. However, belief alone is not enough. Belief must be paired with persistence. While belief gives you the motivation to begin, persistence ensures that you continue. It is the determination to keep going, even when the road gets tough, that separates those who achieve greatness from those who fall short. Persistence is the key that unlocks the door to success, and it is the trait that every successful person shares. Persistence is about more than just continuing to work hard. It's about working smart, adapting to challenges, and staying committed to your vision, no matter how difficult things get. It's about taking one step at a time, even when you can't see the full path ahead. There will be setbacks, failures, and obstacles along the way, but those who are persistent know that these are not signs of defeat. They are simply part of the process. Every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Every failure is a lesson in resilience. The key is to never give up. It is often said that success is not about talent. It's about perseverance. Talent can only take you so far, but persistence is what carries you across the finish line. The most successful people in history were not necessarily the smartest or most talented, but they were the ones who refused to quit. They understood that failure was not a reflection of their abilities, but rather a stepping stone on the way to success. Belief and persistence go hand in hand. Belief gives you the courage to take the first step, and persistence ensures that you keep moving forward, even when the road gets rough. When you combine these two elements, you create an unstoppable force. Your belief will carry you through the hard times, and your persistence will turn obstacles into opportunities. In the face of adversity, it is your belief in yourself that will keep you going, and it is your persistence that will turn your dreams into reality. The journey will not be easy, but the rewards will be worth it. Every day that you persist, every day that you keep moving forward despite the challenges, brings you one step closer to your goal. So when things get tough, remember this: belief and persistence are the keys to success. Keep believing in yourself, keep pushing forward, and never, ever give up. Success is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And the key to reaching that when is your belief and your persistence. If you stay true to your path and keep pushing forward, you will eventually achieve your dreams. Your belief will guide you, your persistence will fuel you, and together they will carry you across the finish line. Fear is one of the greatest obstacles to success. It is a constant companion that whispers doubts in your ears, telling you that you're not good enough, that you'll fail, or that your dreams are too big to achieve. It's the voice inside your head that tells you to play it safe, to stay within your comfort zone, and to avoid taking risks. But the truth is, fear does not define who you are unless you allow it to. It is a natural part of the human experience, but it is also something that can be overcome. Fear is not something you can simply eliminate from your life. It's something you must learn to manage and control. If you allow fear to dictate your actions, it will keep you stuck in the same place, preventing you from reaching your full potential. On the other hand, if you learn to face your fears head-on, you will realize that they are often exaggerated and that the power to overcome them lies within you. One of the most profound realizations you can have is that fear is often rooted in the unknown. We fear what we don't understand or what we can't predict. But fear, like any emotion, is only temporary. It is the result of our own thoughts and perceptions. When you decide to confront your fears, you take away their power over you. You begin to understand that fear is simply a signal that you are stepping into new territory, into a place where growth and transformation are possible. The key to overcoming fear is not to run from it, but to move through it. The most successful people in the world are not those who have never felt fear. They are the ones who have learned to act despite it. They understand that fear is simply a signal that they are on the edge of something new, something transformative. They don't let fear paralyze them. They use it as fuel to push forward. In fact, fear can be a powerful catalyst for growth. The more you push yourself to face your fears, the more you expand your comfort zone, and the more you begin to realize that your fears are often much smaller than they appear. Every time you act in spite of fear, you build your confidence and your resilience. You begin to understand that fear is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength, a sign that you are challenging yourself and stepping into a space where transformation can occur. When you face fear, you force yourself to grow. It's like lifting weights to build muscle. The more you face fear, the stronger your mental and emotional muscles become. And just like physical muscles, the more you exercise them, the more resilient you become in the face of future challenges. Overcoming fear doesn't have to be a grand gesture. You don't have to take huge risks or leap into the unknown without preparation. Overcoming fear is a process, and it begins with small steps. Each small step you take toward facing your fears brings you closer to breaking free from them. It's about gradually pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone, expanding it little by little, until you realize that you can handle much more than you once thought possible. Start by identifying the specific fears that are holding you back. Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of rejection? Are you afraid of not being good enough? Once you identify your fears, take a moment to ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Most of the time, the things we fear the most are not as bad as they seem. The worst-case scenario rarely comes to fruition, and even if it does, it's rarely as devastating as we imagine. Once you've examined your fears, it's time to take action. It's time to do the very thing that scares you. But don't jump in headfirst, take small, manageable steps. If you're afraid of public speaking, start by speaking in front of a small group of people you trust. If you're afraid of failure, start with small projects where the stakes are low, and build your confidence as you go. With each small victory, you will start to see that your fears are not as powerful as they once seemed. One of the most important lessons in overcoming fear is learning to embrace discomfort. Growth and success do not come from staying in your comfort zone. They come from stepping outside of it. When you push yourself to do things that make you uncomfortable, you are forcing yourself to grow. Discomfort is a sign that you are challenging yourself, that you are reaching for something greater than you have ever known. Embracing discomfort means accepting that the road to success will not always be easy. There will be times when you will feel fear, doubt, and uncertainty. But it is in these moments that your true potential will be revealed. It is when you continue to move forward despite the discomfort that you will experience the most profound growth. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to act in spite of fear. It is the ability to move forward even when your knees are shaking and your heart is racing. Courage is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who remain stuck in fear. You don't need to be fearless to succeed. You simply need to be courageous enough to keep going when fear tries to hold you back. Fear may always be a part of your journey, but it does not have to control your destiny. When you learn to face fear with courage and resilience, you will find that you are capable of achieving things you never thought possible. Fear is not the enemy. It is simply a challenge to be overcome. And when you rise above it, you will realize that the rewards of facing your fears far outweigh the cost of remaining stagnant in them. Remember, fear is temporary, but the rewards of overcoming it are lasting. So, the next time fear rears its head, embrace it. Use it as a signal that you are about to step into something great. Take that first step, move through the discomfort, and watch as your fears transform into the foundation of your success. Fear may never fully disappear, but with each step you take in its face, you will become stronger, bolder, and more capable of achieving the extraordinary. In the pursuit of any great goal, it is not uncommon to encounter obstacles. Challenges will arise, setbacks will happen, and at times you will feel like giving up. However, it is in these moments of struggle that your true character is forged. The difference between those who succeed and those who fall short lies not in the absence of difficulty, but in the ability to persist in the face of adversity. Persistence is not simply about pushing forward despite difficulty. It's about the ability to adapt, to remain unwavering in your vision, while allowing the process of growth to shape you. It is about committing yourself to the journey, regardless of the pace, and staying focused on the goal, even when the path ahead seems unclear. It's easy to look at successful individuals and think that their lives have been smooth sailing, that they have reached their goals without having to fight for them. But the reality is far from that. Every successful person has faced setbacks, rejections, failures, and moments of doubt. What separates them from others is their refusal to quit. It is their relentless pursuit, even when the road seems long and uncertain. Every setback you encounter is a test of your determination and your commitment to your goals. How you react to adversity will ultimately determine how far you go. Setbacks do not signal the end of the road. They are simply detours, chances for you to recalibrate, rethink, and continue with more clarity. It is the ability to learn from failure and keep moving forward that truly matters. The path to success is rarely a straight line. It's often full of twists, turns, and unexpected challenges. There will be times when the weight of your dreams feels unbearable, when you feel like giving up. But this is when your persistence will truly be tested. At these times, resilience becomes your greatest asset. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to rise up after every fall, and to continue pursuing your goals with renewed vigor. It's the understanding that failure is not fatal, but rather a part of the process. Every time you face difficulty, you build resilience, which strengthens your ability to persevere. Persistence is not about stubbornly sticking to a single path despite obstacles. It's about being adaptable, willing to learn from your experiences, and adjusting your approach when necessary. In a world that is constantly changing, the most successful people are those who can evolve with the times. They do not let rigid ideas or outdated methods hold them back. Instead, they embrace change and adjust their strategies to keep moving forward. Adaptability is about flexibility, about being able to bend without breaking. It's about taking each obstacle in stride, learning from your mistakes, and finding new ways to move toward your goal. Sometimes the path you initially envision may not be the path you ultimately take, and that's okay. Success isn't about following a predetermined route, it's about finding your way, no matter how winding or unpredictable the road may seem. Persistence also requires consistency. Success does not happen overnight, and neither does mastery. The key to sustained progress is showing up every single day, taking small, meaningful actions that move you closer to your goal. It is the compound effect of small efforts, consistently applied, that leads to extraordinary results. The challenge is that at times progress may seem slow, and results may not be immediately apparent. This is when many people give up, thinking that their efforts aren't yielding fruit. But the truth is that success is often the result of a gradual buildup. It's the cumulative effect of your daily actions, the work you put in when no one is watching, and the persistence to continue even when you don't see immediate rewards. The person who persists, day in and day out, will eventually surpass the person who quits or becomes discouraged by temporary setbacks. When the going gets tough, it's easy to become distracted or discouraged. But persistence is all about maintaining focus on the end goal, even when it feels distant. It's about understanding that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to the realization of your dreams. The process may be long and arduous, but if you remain committed to the goal, your persistence will eventually pay off. Staying focused on the end goal is also about remembering why you started in the first place. It's easy to lose sight of your purpose when things aren't going as planned, but it is your original motivation that should keep you moving forward. Whether your goal is personal, financial, or professional, staying connected to your why will help you maintain the strength to push through even the hardest days. Your purpose is the fuel that keeps the fire of persistence burning. When you remember why you're doing something, you're more likely to keep going, no matter what obstacles you face. Faith plays an essential role in persistence. It's the belief that your efforts will ultimately lead to success, even when the path seems unclear or when the outcome is uncertain. Faith is not blind optimism. It's the conviction that your persistence will eventually be rewarded, even if it takes longer than you anticipated. Having faith in your journey, even when you cannot see the final destination, is crucial. It requires you to trust the process and believe that every step you take is bringing you closer to where you need to be. Faith in your persistence is not just about believing that you will succeed, it's about knowing that every challenge you face has a purpose, and that each obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger and more resilient. It's important to remember that success is not just about the destination, it's about the journey. The lessons you learn, the person you become, and the growth you experience along the way are just as valuable as achieving your ultimate goal. Persistence is about embracing the journey with all of its ups and downs, and understanding that every experience along the way is shaping you into the person who will eventually achieve success. The journey is where the true transformation happens. It's in the moments of struggle that you find your strength, your resilience, and your character. Success is not just about the end result, it's about becoming the person who can sustain that success. And the only way to do that is through persistence. When you choose persistence, you choose to commit to the long haul, to continue even when things are tough, and to trust that in time your efforts will lead to success. It is your ability to persist through difficult times that will set you apart from the rest, and in the end, it is your persistence that will determine how far you go. One of the most important tools you can wield on your journey to success is the power of positive thinking. Positive thinking is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is easy. Instead, it's about choosing how you perceive and respond to the challenges that come your way. It's about maintaining a mindset that, no matter what happens, you will find a way forward. Positive thinking enables you to focus on opportunities rather than obstacles, solutions instead of problems, and potential rather than limitations. At the core of positive thinking is the understanding that your thoughts shape your reality. What you think about most often becomes your truth. If you constantly think about your failures, you are more likely to attract more failure. If you focus on your limitations, you'll continue to find ways to prove those limitations true. But when you focus on what's possible, on what you can achieve, you begin to open doors that were previously closed to you. This is the power of positive thinking. It shifts your perspective and makes you see the world through a lens of possibility rather than impossibility. Positive thinking doesn't mean that you will always have a rosy outlook or that you won't experience moments of doubt or frustration. It simply means that, even in those difficult times, you choose to maintain an optimistic and constructive mindset. You learn to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than signs of failure. This shift in perspective is what allows you to move forward with confidence, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. One of the key elements of positive thinking is the way you speak to yourself. Self-talk, the internal dialogue you have with yourself, has a profound impact on your mindset and actions. Negative self-talk can be incredibly destructive. When you tell yourself that you are not good enough, that you are incapable, or that you will never succeed, you reinforce those beliefs in your mind. These negative thoughts can become self-fulfilling prophecies. The more you tell yourself that you can't do something, the less likely you are to take action, and as a result, you prove yourself right. On the other hand, positive self-talk is empowering. When you tell yourself that you are capable, that you have the strength to overcome obstacles, and that you will find a way to succeed, you reinforce those beliefs as well. Positive self-talk builds your confidence and strengthens your resilience. It shifts your mindset from one of doubt to one of possibility. By choosing to speak kindly and encouragingly to yourself, you create a mental environment that supports your growth and success. The power of positive self-talk is not limited to affirmations. It's about recognizing when negative thoughts arise and challenging them. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "This is too hard, I can't do it," replace that thought with something more constructive like, "This may be difficult, but I am capable of overcoming it." It's about being your own greatest cheerleader, especially when the external world may not be as supportive. Another powerful aspect of positive thinking is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you don't have to what you do have, from what's going wrong to what's going right. When you regularly practice gratitude, you begin to notice the positive aspects of your life more often, and this fosters a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude opens your heart and mind to the possibilities that lie ahead and helps you maintain a positive outlook, even in the face of adversity. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean that you ignore challenges or pretend that everything is perfect. It simply means acknowledging and appreciating the good things in your life, no matter how small. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you increase your emotional resilience and strengthen your sense of optimism. The more you express gratitude, the more you will begin to see opportunities and solutions, rather than problems and obstacles. Positive thinking also includes the practice of visualization. Visualization is a powerful tool that allows you to mentally rehearse your success before it even happens. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals, you create a mental image of success that your brain begins to believe is possible. This mental rehearsal helps to program your mind for success by reinforcing the belief that you can and will achieve your dreams. Visualization is not about wishful thinking, it's about preparing your mind for success. When you visualize yourself succeeding, you are mentally preparing yourself to take the necessary actions to make that success a reality. You are building confidence, strengthening your belief in your abilities, and focusing your energy on your goals. The more vividly and regularly you visualize your success, the more likely you are to take the steps needed to bring that success to life. Another crucial aspect of positive thinking is the people you surround yourself with. The energy of those around you can have a profound impact on your mindset. If you spend time with people who are negative, critical, or unsupportive, their attitudes will begin to influence your own. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with positive, uplifting individuals who encourage and inspire you, you are more likely to maintain a positive mindset yourself. It's important to cultivate relationships with people who support your growth and share your vision for success. These individuals will lift you up during challenging times, provide valuable encouragement, and help you maintain perspective when things get tough. By surrounding yourself with positivity, you reinforce your own positive mindset and create an environment that fosters growth and success. Positive thinking is not just about having a good attitude, it's about translating that attitude into action. Optimism is most powerful when it leads to proactive behavior. It's about maintaining the belief that you can succeed and then taking the necessary steps to make that success happen. A positive mindset fuels the motivation to keep going, even when the road ahead seems difficult. When you maintain an optimistic outlook, you are more likely to take risks, seize opportunities, and persist in the face of challenges. Positive thinking doesn't guarantee success, but it significantly increases your chances of achieving your goals. It helps you remain focused on solutions instead of problems, keeps you motivated when things get tough, and fosters the resilience needed to push through adversity. The power of positive thinking is one of the most important tools you can use to shape your life. By changing your mindset, you change your reality. Positive thinking allows you to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and it gives you the strength to keep going when times get tough. When combined with belief in yourself, persistence, and a commitment to growth, positive thinking becomes a powerful force for transformation. So cultivate a positive mindset, embrace gratitude, surround yourself with uplifting people, and visualize your success. Your thoughts have the power to shape your future. Choose them wisely, and watch as your dreams unfold before your eyes. To achieve success, one of the most crucial steps is setting clear and purposeful goals. Without goals, you may find yourself wandering aimlessly, unsure of what you're working toward or why you're working at all. Goals provide direction, focus, and a clear path toward achievement. They give you something to strive for, a target to hit, and a reason to keep moving forward. However, setting goals is not just about writing down a few wishes on paper, it's about creating a roadmap that leads to tangible success. The first step in goal setting is defining what you truly want. Many people spend their lives following the expectations of others, family, society, peers, without ever stopping to ask themselves what they truly desire. It's easy to get swept up in the desires of others or to chase after goals that are not aligned with your own passions and values. But true success only comes when you set goals that are authentic to who you are and what you want to achieve. Take the time to reflect on your deepest desires and aspirations. What do you want for your life? What kind of person do you want to become? What legacy do you want to leave behind? These questions are essential because they help you clarify your purpose. Once you have a clear vision of what you want, setting specific, measurable, and actionable goals becomes much easier. A key component of goal setting is breaking down your larger goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. When you look at your big goals in their entirety, they may seem overwhelming. You may feel like the task is too monumental to tackle, or that the path to success is too long and uncertain. But the truth is, every great achievement is the result of consistent small actions taken over time. By breaking your goals down into smaller, achievable steps, you make the process less daunting and more achievable. For example, if your goal is to start a successful business, the first step might be researching the industry. The next step might be writing a business plan. After that, you could begin setting up a website, marketing your products, or reaching out to potential customers. Each of these smaller actions brings you closer to your overall goal. Breaking down large goals into manageable chunks creates a sense of progress and makes it easier to maintain motivation, even when the journey feels long.